Hey, everyone. Lisa Drennan here, your wealth activator, host of the I Date Money podcast. And, I was thinking, I've been tapping into my intuition and listening to, different ways that my subconscious and conscious are communicating. And I've learned over the past 3 weeks that if they're not on the same page, I don't get the results that we want. And Nicole is always saying what we focus on expands. And when you call things out, things happen. And, it's been Monday, we talked about this in our mastermind call in Wondermind. And, every day she's been encouraging us and showing us and demonstrating for us how this works. And when I think about like the emotional spending patterns that we all spend on emotions, right? Raise your hand if you buy an emotion. If you don't, you're not normal. Okay, just calling you out, just saying, because we all buy from emotion. It gives us that dopamine hit that we want. And before we get started, I'm just going to go hop in the group and tag everyone. Come join me in the group, ask questions. It's been a hot minute since I've been here, but let me just tag everyone and invite you to come in on this discussion. I had posted the other day that if you come live, I have a gift for you. So if you are here live, say hey, say what's up, whatever, and answer some of the questions that I'm about to share with you. I'm going to give you 3 keys to align your thoughts, which are the most powerful tool that we have, with your actions so that you get the results that you want. But just give me a second to share this with everyone in the link. And like I said, be sure to say, hey, I'm going to be checking the comments so I can be sure that I know that you are live. Let me just read this a second. I can't talk and do this at the same time. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So let me see where I'm at. See if I see anybody, not yet. But hopefully the, tech people, whatever you want to call that, are like in my favor, right? Calling it out, it's in my favor. So I will check back here. So today I did a post a couple weeks ago. Let me just get my little notes out here that said, what triggers your emotional spending? And 28 people saw it, but not one person responded. And I thought, okay, y'all 28 may have been distracted. Maybe you were just a little bit shy. You're like, I'm not answering that. I don't have emotional spending issues. Maybe it triggered something in you. I know for me, words matter, right? The language, the spells that our words create is so important. And when we dive into our emotions, if you're like me, you get really good at hiding. Inside Out is one of my favorite movies. If you haven't seen Inside Out and you haven't seen Inside Out 2, what are you waiting for? Go see the movies. They depict the emotions so clearly and explicitly. And it's just like, oh, yeah, I do that, right? And, we get so good at hiding. And, when we think about it, we hide, but we replace. So when we have emotional spending, we are actually looking for soothing. We're looking, something's bothering us. There's a blocker and is bothering us, and we want to cure it, right? We want to get over it. We want to be able to process it without making a big deal about it. Okay. So emotional spending occurs when we purchase items or services based on our feelings rather than our needs. And this is exactly how we want to buy, right? We want to buy based on our feelings rather than our needs. Or do we? Do we? Like, ask yourself that question. I'm curious. Do you spend money based on your feelings or based on your needs? And if you do, share in the comments. If you do spend based on your feelings, what feeling, what dopamine hit, what happens when you buy something? You guys, if you're on Amazon Prime, you got a message about a week ago saying that there's Prime, these 16th and the 17th are Prime time deals, right? Well, I couldn't wait because there's a couple things that I need for the house. Get that? See, I need for the house that I was waiting for this. I knew last year it happened. I knew it was going to happen again. So I can get a deal. I love saving money when deals like this come out. And it's just like Black Friday. You guys are planning your Black Friday specials. If you haven't, what are you waiting for? but we like a deal because we like to see that we're getting something. I just went into the big group with the visionary marketing gurus, and they were talking about Marco was on there talking about how he gives incentives to people just for coming into his world, to give them tickets to, you know, freebies for hotels and things of that nature, to great destination spots. And like, what are we offering people, right? What are we offering? So when we think about buying from feelings, what's triggering those feelings? Stress, sadness, boredom, celebration, maybe a need for instant gratification. I know when I racked up $100,000 worth of debt, I had this need to fill this void because I felt like a piece of shit. I felt like a person who was worthless, and I constantly judged myself because of my past, because, you know, of the way I was raised. I was in victim status and I was blaming. The blame game was huge for me, right? So when you think about, you know, like I would emotionally spend to soothe that feeling of money burns a hole in your pocket. You're no good with money. You need to take money away from yourself because you spend it. Are you going to piss through your money like your mother did? You know, and all of these things come to mind, you know, they're in my subconscious that are brought to my attention, you know, like when I'm out spending or I see somebody, I'm observing somebody. So what comes up for you? Share in the comments. What comes up for you when you're shopping? What kind of idioms, money idioms did you grow up with? And thinking about one of the keys, okay, so here's key one, is to recognize these triggers. When you can identify the emotional triggers and become self-aware, right? Then you're going to be able to redirect and stop and think. And back in the day, I am not a financial coach. I'm a wealth activator, okay? The difference between a financial coach, side note here, and a wealth activator, a financial coach is going to help you budget your money. A wealth activator is going to help you manage your money to multiply it and help you with your money story, okay? So when I work with clients, when I was a financial coach and I worked with clients, one of the things that we used to do is make a list of all of the, like for 90 days, we made a list of everything that we bought every day. Okay. And it's a little bit tedious, yeah. But now with debit cards, it's no big deal. You just pull it up on your phone, right? But this is like back in the, mid 2000s, we would, write it all out with paper and pen, dinosaur ages, right? And they would make a list of 90 days. They would keep all the receipts. And they thought, every single time they got into a fight at home or they got stressed out because, the kids were driving them nuts. They wanted to pull their hair out. They started seeing more gray, whatever. They would go out and buy something. So when they recognized, when they were able to look back and say, why am I spending that money that way? When they were able to look and say, like, you know what, money is a tool, money is a resource. This is how I want my money to be. And then reverse engineer it. They were able to look at those emotional triggers and say, I don't need to go to Target every Saturday with my best friend Sue and go shop the clearance racks and buy things that still have tags on them. Like I'm spending $40 a week doing that, and it's sitting in a drawer with tags on. Like, why? My client Sue had done this exercise and realized this, and it was great because afterwards she's like, yeah, my friend whose name was also Sue, we went shopping again, and I took, we went to that clearance rack, and I stood there and I was like, what do I need this for myself? So here's an exercise. Here's a tip for you. What you want to do is take a moment to reflect on your past purchases. What emotions were you feeling about making these purchases? Write down any patterns that you notice. And if you guys aren't into tracking, what you track expands, okay? What you focus on expands. So write down and see what your patterns are. So I'm going to give you a tip here. And even if you don't like journaling, voice record it. You don't have to write it if you don't want to. Throw a note on your voice recorder, okay? Get Otter, do your video, do a video of yourself, do a video series of yourself, make a great podcast if you're a podcast host. It also makes for great content if you want to share your content that crushes that Nicole teaches. And if you don't know about that, send me a direct message. I'll talk to you more about that. So keeping a spending journal to track your emotions and your spending habits, really simple. Today I spent, $5 on a Starbucks. I felt this way when I purchased it, right? The feeling and what you're buying. Okay, so tip number one. So when you think about your mindful spending habits. Okay, this is the second thing we want to pay attention to, whether you're buying something from feeling or if you need to buy it. Like, you need to buy groceries, right? Not all groceries in your cart you need. Right? Do you need like 5 boxes of Ferrero Rochers? I bought those for, or 6 half gallons of ice cream. I've bought those before. Think about what you need. Going to the grocery store with a list helps you save lots of money, which you can use towards your debt. Side note there. So develop mindful spending habits. So key number 2, when you can think about your next purchase, right? And this is all, anybody who is a millionaire or a multimillionaire, whatever, they look at their money and they know exactly where it's going to go. When before they get money, like, we're talking about marketing and content strategy. Nicole teaches you in this group how to make money, right? Well, you learn how to make money, but then you don't have any money to show for it. You're like, where'd all the money go? And then you think, okay, well, I have all this debt, so I'm going to get another job. This is me, okay? I'm going to get another job and all that money is going to go towards that debt, and then I'll be debt free, and then I'll be able to move to my dream home at the beach. And that's what I told myself for years. For years, I worked 3 jobs, okay? And I took all my money away from me after I filed for bankruptcy at age 22 and took everything on auto pay, right? I set up all these different bank accounts. And then I didn't pay attention. And my husband would say, Lisa, pay attention to your money every day. Write down your assets, write down how much money you have. I'd be like, screw that. I'm not doing that. I can't touch the money until I'm retired anyways. Wrong attitude. Okay. If money was a person and I was talking to money like that, money would say, bye-bye, sweetheart. I don't want to hang out with you anymore. Right? So thinking about this, thinking about how you want to spend your money before your next purchase, okay, see if you can implement this. Before your next purchase, ask yourself, do I need this? How will I feel about this purchase tomorrow? Will this purchase bring long-term satisfaction or just a temporary high, right? So when you can ask yourself these questions, this is going to help you invest better. And I know a lot of you might not be able to invest in a program like Nonstop because you think that you don't have the money, but it's really because you're not paying attention to it. And if you start to pay attention to your money, you'll see that you do have money. And if you start to create a wealth activation roadmap for your money, you'll see that you have plenty of money to pay down your debt, to cover your expenses, your needs, your wants, and to invest in programs like Nonstop. It's just aligning your thoughts, your most powerful tool that you have, with your emotions so that your actions are in alignment. So you can use a technique like deep breathing or even a short walk to create a pause between the impulse and the action. So I'm a certified aromatherapy practitioner, and what I like to do is aromatherapy. So there's a quick reset that you can do if you love essential oils like I do. You can grab an oil, gratitude is what I have right near me. Gratitude is one of the keys to being successful, but just put it in the palm of your hands and rub that in. We create a scent tent. We take a big deep breath in. Hold your breath, feel your abdomen expand, and exhale through your mouth as if you're blowing out the candles. Repeat 2 more times. And that kind of gives you clarity. It kind of gives you a quick reset, centers you. The power of breath combined with scent accelerates that process. And then you can ask yourself those questions. Do I need this? How will I feel about this purchase tomorrow? Will this purchase bring long-term satisfaction? So share below any tips that you've used to help with your emotional spending, with your, what have you done to replace that dopamine? Because we want dopamine hits, right? So the final key, let me just check the Facebook group and see. I had a couple of viewers. Did you respond? Hey, thanks for joining. Say hey, and I have a free gift for you just for being here. Something you're going to absolutely love. So once you reply, I'll go ahead and send you the link to the free gift. It is amazing. It'll take about 45 minutes of your time, but it'll be something worthwhile. It is the code to cracking the wealth code is the gift. So thanks for being here. Go ahead and respond in the comments. Going back to the third And the final key, aligning your spending with your values and your goals. So when you think about this, okay, when I was spending, when I racked up $100,000 worth of debt, nothing was in alignment. I just wanted, okay? So I had a goal, okay? If you don't know how your debt went, right? If you have $40,000 worth of debt, 30,000, whatever the number, it doesn't matter. Do you know where that money came from? Like how you racked up that debt? For me, it was remodeling my home. I wanted to remodel my kitchen, my bathrooms. My house was very dated. It was built in 68. Was it 68? I don't know, something like that. Anyways, it needed to be updated. And I had an agreement, excuse me. I had an agreement with my husband, who accused me of financial infidelity, that I can get a new kitchen as long as we both saved the money that we needed to redo it. And back then, that was like 2007. It was going to cost $10,000, and we were going to do it. We were going to DIY it. We're going to do a combination of hiring contractors. My dad was in the business, so we were going to, be our own subcontractor and take care of it. And I mapped it out for 5 years. It took me 5 years to save $10,000. Why? Because I kept spending my money. And I didn't care. This is like, whatever. And I couldn't figure it out. It's just like, well, I said I wanted to do this thing. And I just magically thought that he would come and just take care of it. Oh, honey, that's okay. But at the end, 5 years it took me to learn this lesson. Like, what is wrong with me? And so after the second year, he's like, I thought you wanted to get the kitchen done. He's like, we're not charging this. So what did I do? That third year I rebelled, and this Discover mailer came in, and it wasn't even addressed to me. It was addressed to my son at the time, who was 18 years, no, how old was he? I don't know. He was 18, I think. And anyways, he got an offer. I was like, why is he getting a credit card offer? So I opened it because, you don't get offers for kids. And it was a credit card offer for 0% interest. I'm like, ooh, 0% interest. I like this. So I applied and I got approved for $10,000. So I racked up $10,000, and which is exactly what I needed to get the kitchen done, right? So what did I do? I took my cash and saved $10,000. And then I charged, the cash I took was from my grocery money, from anybody I paid in cash. I would or anything that I could not pay in cash, like I can convert. So groceries you can buy in cash or credit. So instead of paying groceries in cash, which was I was in the habit of doing, I took that credit card and took the cash for my groceries and put it in a savings account. And then I used the credit card to pay for the groceries. Genius, right? Well, until it comes in and slaps you in the face. So I saved the $10,000, got the kitchen going. Well, now the 0% credit card turned into 29%. I was like, I'm not paying 29%. But then I got another offer. So then I kept playing this game. And then meanwhile, I was telling myself, I'll just get another job. I'll get a part-time job, and then I'll use that money to pay off this debt, and then it'll be all fine. Guess what? I never did it because I had a disconnect. My subconscious and my conscious were not in alignment, and this prevented me from getting what I wanted. And so these steps will work for you as long as that's in alignment. And that's exactly what I teach in the Crush on Debt membership. We talk about being in alignment so that we can hit our goals and reverse engineering it. It's all about the strategy, and it's all about meaning what you say and saying what you mean. So the final key, when we align the spending with the values and the goals, we get to identify and align what our personal values and long-term goals are. So here's an exercise for you if you choose to implement this. Identify your top 3 values and financial goals. For each potential purchase, ask yourself, does this align with my value and goals? And here's a tip for you. Create a vision board or a financial plan that visually reminds you of your goals and values. And this is how you get to move towards being a self-made millionaire. This is how you get to move towards paying off your debt. It's all about the strategy. It's all about that alignment. So, hey, I see 3 viewers. Go ahead, Dina. Awesome. You have just won a cracking the wealth code, a wealth activation aromatherapy session. I will send you the link in the comments. The other two people who are here, I know people have been jumping on and off. Go ahead, I'm about to hit end live, so hop on before I get, and you two can get it. This is an alignment. It's like the money meditation to quantum leap you over into your journey to become a self-made millionaire, to make your money work for you, because it doesn't matter how much money you have, it's what you do with it. See you next Wednesday.